Hello, everybody. I'm Matt.
And I'm Maggie.
And we are
Hopefully Awesome.
That's right, a positive place on the internet where we nerd out about all the geeky things we love. And of course, this week's geeky things include Godzilla and several Batmen and James Wan and Jason Blum and Fast X, and just, we're also going to review a couple of freaking awesome movies, so definitely stick around for that. Because this is the Hopefully Awesome Show, our weekly podcast where me and Maggie recap all of this past week's nerdy news and get you caught up on all that stuff. We also give her a little bit of tidbits. I like to call them Timbits. And I had nothing. I was trying really hard.
When does this start happening?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so definitely hang out, enjoy. It's a weekly podcast you can get either on the audio platforms or on YouTube. So feel free and check us out. But before we go any further, let's get into the news. It's time for the news. Okay, everybody. Our first story today, unfortunately, is a sad story again. So we'll just jump right into it. Earlier this morning, news came out that Jason David Frank has passed away. We'll just kind of recap everything on IGN and then we'll discuss it. So, via IGN, Jason David Frank, the original Green and White Ranger on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, has died at age 49. Frank played Tommy Oliver and appeared in the first season in 1993. As reported by TMZ, Frank's representative, Justine Hunt, confirmed he had died in Texas. Quote, "Please respect the privacy of his family and friends during this horrible time as we come to terms with the loss of such a wonderful human being," Hunt said. Quote, "He loved his family, friends, and fans very much. He will be truly missed." Walter Jones, who played the Black Ranger in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, tells TMZ, "He was an inspiration to so many people. His presence will be dearly missed. It's so sad to lose another member of our Ranger family." He adds, "Jason was one of the best pranksters on the show. He had a wild sense of humor. We had our shares of ups and downs, but I stayed consistent about being an ear if he needed one. My prayers go out to his family and all that will miss him." Frank was only supposed to be on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for 14 episodes, but he was brought back due to the popularity of the character in several adaptations of Power Rangers, including Wild Force, Turbo, Zeo, Dino Thunder, Megaforce, Ninja Steel, Hyperforce, and more. He's been a Red Ranger, a Black Ranger, and a Green Ranger anew. Jason David Frank is a fan favorite Power Ranger, which is why he returned to the franchise time and time again. While he was cast in a few other movies and shows, he became a professional fighter from 2008 to 2010, as he was an expert in a handful of martial arts styles. He even created his own style of American karate called Tosokundo, and was inducted into the World Karate Union Hall of Fame in 2003. Jason David Frank is survived by his 4 children. So yeah, this just sucks, man. And there's still a lot going out about, how he passed away. A lot of unsubstantiated.
Yeah.
Substantiated. Stories, unconfirmed stories about what happened. If those turn out to be true, obviously it's very tragic. And, to anybody listening to this that maybe struggles with similar struggles of that nature, definitely know that you deserve to be here. Mm-hmm. You are awesome, and people suck, and you should definitely reach out to someone and get help. Seek the help of a medical professional. Me and Maggie both joined therapy this year. Mental health is a huge priority, and just know that you should definitely, if you ever struggle with not feeling like you should be here, then you should definitely reach out to someone, because you should be here. That's why you're here. So yeah, that being said, I guess I'll kind of start us off here. Power Rangers for me was like my first nerdum, my first, the first big group of people that my first fandom, that's the word I'm looking for. that I really loved. You know, up to that point, you know, I mean, I was young. It came out when I was in first grade, so I was like 5 or 6, and you know, I'd seen a few things like, you know, mostly like Winnie the Pooh, right? Like that was probably my other big fandom at the time. Saved by the Bell. But Power Rangers was the first time I felt like I'd found something that was like truly for me, you know. And I fell in love immediately. Like I loved the idea of you know, these teenagers. It was almost like Saved by the Bell in that way, even though looking back they were way more corny than Saved by the Bell. But you know, seeing them, and then they have these powers, and they, you know, did karate, and especially coming from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles growing up, that was another one I really liked. But that was like my brothers were into Turtles too, so I mean, this felt like mine, you know. And so just, you know, seeing that and these giant monsters, and they were all different every week, you know, and stuff, and like I really enjoyed it. But it wasn't until the Green with Evil miniseries that they did, when they first introduced Tommy, that I like really started noticing like, oh, I need to pay attention to like every episode. Yeah. You know, like it wasn't just, you know, catch it when you can. Yeah. Like I needed to see every episode, you know. And actually my mom and dad bought us the VHSs of those, and they sold each episode individually. Okay. Yeah. Like it was 5 episodes, and it was like, I don't even know how much they were, but it was ridiculous. And so like, you know, that was a big deal to me. I got the action figures, you know, but before Green with Evil, I would be playing with my friends at school, and we'd all pretend to be Power Rangers, you know, like, oh, I'm the Red Ranger, I'm the Black Ranger. And I would always make up the Green Ranger because my favorite color was green. So I wanted to be a Green Ranger. Why couldn't there be a Green Ranger? Yeah. And I would say that my Zord was a turtle. It was a turtle Zord. You know, that was like that was my whole big thing. And so when they actually introduced a Green Ranger, I was like, holy shit. Do I have Jesus eyes? Is that, do I know the future? Am I just that smart? And you know, and that season kind of continued, and Tommy was in again, off again, lost his powers, gained his powers back. Yeah. And then like after summer, Fox Primetime, not even Fox Kids, but Primetime Fox decided to release the first 3 episodes of season 2 in primetime. And they were on the TV Guide. They were like, it was everywhere. And I was in heaven, right? I was like, it's legit now. Like this comes on at the same time as 2020. This is for adults now. And like that introduced Lord Zed, right? And so I mean, that was just, it was insane at that point, you know. And like they started using like more American footage, so you know, it was actually the actors kind of fighting and stuff. They got new Zords, which I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. And you know, and you know, throughout that series, he finally loses his powers, and then a few weeks later, there's a White Ranger. Who could the White Ranger be? You know. Yeah. And me and my brother Billy had like this ongoing joke of like you would, because they would show the promo, and like the White Ranger would start to take off their helmet, and they would cut away, right? And it was like, who will be the White Ranger? And so we would do one where it would be like, who is the White Ranger? And they go, it would be Bulk. It'd be Bulk under the helmet. It's so great. My Lord. Yeah, I would have loved it, man. Poor Bulk and Skull never got their powers, you know. They should have. But yeah, so obviously that turned out to be Tommy, and that, you know, warmed everybody's hearts. The movie came out, Zeo, Turbo, Tommy leaves, Forever Red comes out, and Tommy's back, and then Dino Thunder comes out, and Tommy's back again, and now he's a professor, because I don't know, he knows how to be a professor now. And like, you know, throughout all the years, Tommy has become kind of the unofficial mascot of Power Rangers, you know, and it just, he was such an important figure to like the franchise. Yeah. And obviously Jason David Frank was that. Like he wanted to be that. Like, you know, there was a few years probably post Power Rangers that he was maybe a little more standoffish about it. You know, like he wanted to be known for more than just this kid show, right? Yeah. But especially in the past, you know, decade and a half at least, he's really like leaned into it. You know, like he was he came back for several things. He started promoting Power Rangers. He actually when that guy, I can't think of his name, but when they released Power/Rangers, the R-rated YouTube video, he actually came out and was like against it. He was like, this is not what Power Rangers should be. Like Haim Saban would not want this, you know. And he was like, and if I'm going to be a part of Power Rangers, it's going to be official Power Rangers, because they were like, you know, would you do like a cameo in this? And he's like, no, this is you're turning something, you know, that's good into something, you know, R-rated. And don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed Power/Rangers. Like, don't get me wrong, I really thought it was cool. I wouldn't want that to be the only Power Rangers thing that exists, but I thought it was cool. But he, you know, so he really respected just the fandom of Power Rangers. You know, he had a lot of respect for the fans and stuff. I'm like, I'm starting to cry. Like, I didn't expect that to actually happen.
Well, he was reading that, I started to tear up.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it just, you know, there's been a lot of, I'm shocked that I'm actually starting to cry. There's been a lot of, you know, loss, a lot of celebrities lost and stuff. And like, I guess this one just hits harder. Yeah. 'Cause like, this is like a huge piece of my childhood. Honestly, I'm sorry, everybody. I didn't know, like, reading the story earlier and seeing the tweets and stuff. Like I was, it sucked, but I wasn't emotionally, you know, dismayed about it. But I guess like sitting here and going over this, like, I realized just how important he really was to me. Yeah. And like, it's just sad. Like, it's sad that someone who meant so much to so many people and who kept life in a fandom that should have died decades ago. You know, I mean, Power Rangers should not still be around. And one could argue that Tommy is one, like, a primary reason that it is still around.
Oh yeah. And
for him to have ended this way, it just sucks. And like, knowing that, you know, this is so selfish, but like, knowing I'll never get to like go and meet him, you know, or just let him know like how much he meant, you know, like on a personal level. Like, it just sucks. He was such a decent human being. And don't get me wrong, he had his flaws, he had faults, and he could get a little heated at times, and he would talk shit about different Power Rangers and stuff, for sure. Yeah. He wasn't perfect, but I mean, at the end of the day, all he wanted was to take care of the thing that so many people cared about. And I think that that's noble, you know. Maggie, why don't you start talking?
Okay. I was into Power Rangers when I was younger, especially when it first came on. I guess I was probably 4 around that time. Whenever you said first grade, I was like, ooh. Yeah. But I remember being in kindergarten, getting off the bus and rushing, because my brothers always took over the TV downstairs. I always rushed to my mom and dad's bedroom because it was the other TV in the house. Yeah. And I remember propping my feet up on, I can't remember, I think it was like a drawer or a trunk of some kind. Mom and dad put the TV on, propping my feet up on it and watching Fox Kids and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers coming on. Yeah. And like, I can't really remember much because I was so young, but I remember like I loved it and all my friends loved it. And I probably had a crush on Tommy, to be honest.
I mean, everybody. I had a crush on Kimberly. All the girls had crushes on Tommy. Yeah. Or Kimberly. I mean, you know, whatever. Do you?
But I remember in kindergarten, there's this one boy, he always got in trouble all the time. And we decided to play Power Rangers in the room. And I had a cousin in the same class with me, and me and her would always fight over who's going to be the Pink Ranger. But I always... so I always came back to be the Yellow Ranger. And but the boy that always got in trouble, we had these massive plastic building blocks, and there was holes in the triangle ones, and they were red. So he put his hands into some of them, and he slapped them together, and he's like, I'm Crab Man, I'm here to destroy you Power Rangers, you know. And we act like we knew karate and stuff and try to fight them off.
That's hilarious.
But I mean, Power Rangers, for a kid in the 90s, that was like a big thing.
It like defined our generation.
Yeah. And it just sucks to talk like this. I mean, just a few weeks ago we lost Kevin Conroy, and now people
last
knew
week.
or
Just
last week, lost him, and like a lot of people just identify him as Batman.
Yeah.
And then we lose another icon from the 90s. That was the icon of Power Rangers. Yeah. I mean, and whenever I was telling my brother, he was a very talented guy, like fighting wise. Well, I mean, very talented.
Like reading over this, seeing that he was inducted in the World Karate Union Hall of Fame. Like, talented. I don't know if you remember, but when they were like releasing different things for Power Rangers when it really blew up, they had like the fan club and stuff.
Yeah.
And Tommy, or Jason David Frank, had a karate class video.
Yeah.
So like, and I mean, it was Power Rangers themed. Yeah. Like he fought on the mountain that the command center was on. And like, and he had students and stuff. And it was just him like doing karate and like you learning from him. And just the fact that he legit knew that stuff. Yeah. Like a lot of these people, especially nowadays, like they just, the stuntman comes in and does CG,
Yeah.
But like he knew his shit. Like he wanted to do it,
Well, I mean, they sought out somebody that knew karate.
Yeah.
To take that character, you know. So
and he was this is a total side tangent.
Yeah.
The reason he was cast was because he was supposed to lead the original version of VR Troopers.
Oh, wow.
And it was going to be called something else. It was one person. It was almost like Master Rider.
Yeah.
But it used the footage from what would turn into what would turn into Master VR Troopers. Sorry, I'm totally blocked.
Okay, I was like, I don't know what you mean. Or do you mean a different show?
Because in VR Troopers, they had 3 characters.
Yes,
but only 2 of them were from the same show.
Yeah,
and so they would have to intercut the 2 shows together, and that's why all 3 of them were never on screen together, unless it was like new footage from America.
Yeah.
And so before they decided to do VR Troopers, they tried to sell it as a one-person thing. Mm-hmm. And like he was like riding a motorcycle, and he was, I think like his dad had died, and he was trying to find like vengeance for his dad and stuff. And I think his name was Jason in it. I want to say his name was Jason. But so when that didn't get picked up, Haim Saban like was like, well, hey, we need
somebody.
Yeah, and so they brought him over for Tommy. And I mean, just imagine if that show had got picked up and ended like VR Troopers did, we maybe wouldn't even know who Jason David Frank is. No. So sorry, that was a side tangent.
It's okay. And this morning when I found out, I was kind of in disbelief because it hadn't really been confirmed yet. Like only one website had something, and like everybody was speculating. They're like, we don't think this is real. There's no way. There's no way.
And there's been so many, especially recently, of people not dying.
Yeah.
From fake accounts and stuff.
Yeah. And I was thinking, I was like, oh, somebody, is, pulling something. This is awful. And then it seemed like the longer time went on, more and more started coming up. And and he's so young. I mean, 49. That's young.
Yeah. It is. God, it is.
And it's just heartbreaking. I mean, no, I knew he had kids, but I didn't know he had 4 kids.
Yeah.
And I mean, anybody that was tweeting about him that had met him said that he was like the nicest person. Yeah, that he really, and that he really, really cared about the fans.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, it's heartbreaking, you know? It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right. I mean, and like, a couple of weeks ago, they announced that for the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers that they were bringing back.
They're bringing back a bunch. Yeah.
Like, I think Zach and Billy and I think Kimberly wasn't shown, but I think Jason was there and maybe Aisha. And Rocky.
Yeah.
They had some of the Stone Canyon kids.
Yeah, and like our jaws dropped because Billy was back.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I was like, obviously he's not there, but I mean, obviously Tommy's gonna be there. They'll get
he's
him.
involved.
And then, you know, just the, I mean, obviously he's been in so many of the anniversary specials and stuff. So, I mean, it's not like we never got it, but, you know, it's just, it's not going to feel the same, you know? And like, again, I think this just hits harder because this was just such a big piece of my childhood.
Yeah.
It's like the first time like a piece of my childhood is kind of died, you know?
It hurts.
But
also, before I forget, I really loved when the comic books did the trailer for Lord Draken.
Yes, and he actually
he was Lord Draken. I thought
he was so good. He looked
awesome.
so good. Yeah, and the fact that he's willing to do it. You know? And like he did for the video game, he did the fight against Chun-Li.
Yeah.
And like Chun-Li became a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Even
that was cool.
Even when I wish I could think of their names. Oh, why can't I think of their names? But it was a YouTube fan channel.
Yeah.
And like they would do like death battles, right? And they would pair people
yeah.
And like it'd be people in different costumes and stuff, like Batman versus Darth Vader or something.
It was always something crazy.
And so they did one of they did two. They did one with the White Ranger, one with the Green Ranger. And he came back and did both of those for just these fan films. Like, and he brought his own suit, his own helmet. And I remember not liking his helmet because they put like a green or a gold stripe.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they doing? And I think he fought Scorpion in it or something. It's not Midnight Suns. Bat in the Sun? Bat in the Sun? Talk for a second.
Okay.
I think it was Bat in the Sun.
But the fact that he came back as Lord Draken, I thought that was really, really kick-ass. And I don't know, it's just sad. I can't.
Bat in the Sun. Superpower Beatdowns is what they were called. Yeah, it was White Ranger versus Scorpion. And they did another one, Green Ranger versus
Ryu.
How funny. Like, because then he fought Chun-Li, right?
Yeah.
And Ryu is Street Fighter also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ryu even is in the game as like a Power Ranger. Wow. And that was 7 years ago. 13 million views on that. The White Ranger one was it's more than 2 years ago. It was 9 years ago. And it was 16 million views. Yeah, if you haven't checked those out, like that was before like Power Rangers really started getting their resurgence again. Like, I mean, sure, they still had, you know, they had the shows on and stuff, but like the more like adult oriented stuff, you know, like the new comic book, the new movie that they had, you know, like, so I feel like stuff like that really helped keep it going. Yeah. And speaking of the new movie, he even cameoed in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and Kimberly too.
He actually did two. So the first one didn't make it into the movie. Him and Kimberly were on a date inside the Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme. It was Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah, and that is right, because they had the donuts for yeah.
And when Rita comes in and like destroys it or whatever, they were in there. Yeah. And he grew his hair out again to look like the old Tommy. And so then he cut it and stuff, and they're like, hey, we've changed up the scene, can y'all come in and do a different thing? He's like, I already cut my hair. They're like, that's fine. And so that at the end where they're like taking pictures of the Zords and stuff, like that's what they ended up going with. And that it was cool that he, like, you know, he was there to represent like the old guard kind of passing the baton, you know, even though that movie ended up not continuing anywhere. It was good though. I liked it enough. And gave us Billy from Stranger Things. You know, he was playing Jason.
Yeah, that is Billy, right. You know?
And his dad was Roy from The Office. Yeah, just a lot of casting there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, there's not really a lot to say about, you know, how we move on from this or how we deal with this, but you know, I guess the thing is kind of like what we said about Kevin Conroy is that, you know, he'll always be the original Green Ranger. Yeah. He'll always be the original White Ranger. Yeah. And, you know, nothing can ever change that. Nothing can change the hope that he gave people, the happiness, you know, the legacy that he had. I mean, no matter what, no matter how it all ended, like he was still in some ways, in most ways, a positive force for good in the world. Yeah. And even though Power Rangers was fictional, he still helped change a lot of people's lives. So.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, everybody, we're going to go cry, and then we're going to move on to the next story. So, anything else you want to say before we go?
No.
All right, we'll try and pull out of this. Here we go. Story number 1 or 2, however we want to go about it. Via discussing film on Twitter, the title of Legendary's upcoming Godzilla vs. Kong sequel has been revealed as, everybody wait for it, here we go, Godzilla and Kong.
What?
The Battle of Earth. Sorry, so originally it was just Godzilla and Kong. So it was Godzilla versus Kong, and the new one was Godzilla and Kong. Everybody's like, wow, they really just...
you know what?
What?
I know what the movie's about. I'm calling it right now.
Right.
Godzilla and Kong. They get in an apartment together and they become roommates.
I'd fucking watch that.
It's Laverne and Shirley.
Now do they get shrunk down, or is there a facility that has built giant ass
No, they
apartments?
get shrunk down.
Okay.
Because
so just human size.
Yeah, because I want humans dressed up as them.
Can
around.
I suggest a post-credit scene?
Yeah.
Okay. Where Tom Hardy's Venom becomes their third roommate. Third and fourth.
Godzilla.
Technically. Like a turd in the wind.
Like a turd.
God damn it. Why is that movie so awful? But yeah.
But yet so quotable at the same time.
Unfortunately.
King Kong.
God. So yeah, I'm, if you've been watching this at all, you may know that I'm a huge fan of Godzilla, especially the legendary version. I've watched the old stuff. I actually own the big
Criterion.
book. Yes. Thank you for that,
collection.
by the way. That was a Christmas gift.
You are welcome.
I really like it. But I definitely love the legendary, series that they've done with the Monsterverse or whatever the hell they call it. And, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, one of my favorite movies. I just love everything about it.
It's
Mothra kicks so much ass in that movie, dude. It's so great. But it's got Coach Taylor. I mean, what else do you need? Come on.
Not good enough.
That's really good, Godzilla. That's really good.
But it's not good enough.
Not nearly good enough. You got past that ball, Godzilla. And what's his name? Was also in it from The West Wing. Our boy.
Every time, Matt.
Yeah, Bradley Whitford.
No, I was supposed to say Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. Best known as his role in The West Wing. But anyway, it's a great movie. So when Godzilla vs. Kong was coming out, and especially coming to HBO Max, I was head over heels. Right? I was like, this shit's going to be awesome.
Awesome.
And it wasn't. It just wasn't. It wasn't great,
Yeah.
There's just lots of bad choices, you know? And I just I don't know. It's just, I don't I don't want to dissect
Gibberish.
it. So here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Maybe they save it with this one. I mean, it's called the Battle of Earth. So here's what I suggest. Just bring more monsters. King of the Monsters worked because there was so many monsters, right?
Yeah.
Just bring in more monsters.
Yeah, do it.
They fucking ruined Mechagodzilla, okay? It looked like trash.
I was waiting for it.
It looked so bad. Mechagodzilla is the easiest fucking thing to make. It is hard to make it look shitty, and they made it fucking shitty, okay? It looked awful.
It wasn't good enough.
The Dragon Zord looked better as a Mechagodzilla than the shit they put in that movie, okay?
Breathe. I'm still thinking that they're roommates. That's what I'm sticking to.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it too.
Wait, can oh, never mind. I think they're dead. The guys from Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah, they're dead.
Yeah,
they're both dead, Matt.
I was like, can they do the voices of them?
The Odd Couple. Which one's the one that has OCD? Godzilla or King Kong?
Kong, for sure.
Okay.
Kong can make a home.
Okay, Kong can make a home.
Godzilla
just trashes
eating chips on
and
the couch.
he's drunk all the time.
He's like, fuck your couch, Kong. Fuck your couch.
I'm gonna use my nuclear powers and blow a hole through the walls. And King Kong's over there with spackle and fixing the drywall and painting it. Yeah.
Kong's like, can you flush when you take a shit? That's it. It wasn't even tied to the monsters. Just just normal roommate stuff. Oh, and they have to put a piece of tape down the center so they could split it.
Their next door neighbor's Mothra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask who are the women that
Mothra.
starts tearing them apart. You know, like they both want her.
Oh.
Probably Martha.
Martha.
It's Martha.
Mothra.
Mothra. Why did you say that name? Save Mothra. It should have been it. Oh. That's my Kong impression. It's directly from the live action trailer for Super Smash Brothers Brawl on YouTube that came out in 2006.
Golly, Matt. Wow.
P stands for pie. Oh my god, that is one of the best. We need to do a Patreon video where we just watch our favorite YouTube videos. I think that would be.
I thought you was going to say commercials. I was like, oh god.
No. Favorite YouTube videos, classics.
Okay.
Gabriel Gundacker is going to be on there.
I'm down for it.
Sweet. All right.
Okay.
Go support us on patreon.com/hopefullyawesome.
Make this stream happen.
We'll make it happen. All right. Everybody, anything else you want to say before we...
My brother keeps on sending me links to stuff. I don't know why.
Anything else you want to say before we move on?
The Odd Monsters. That's what it's called.
Speaking of odd monsters, yeah, it doesn't really work. Via GameSpot.com, and I think this is this is actually from a different source, but they had a paywall, so I took it from GameSpot because they recapped it for us. Don't put a paywall on news, okay? Gotta just say that.
That's stupid.
Like, I mean, I get it. It's modern day. You got to make money, and that's fine. You know, do a Substack or something. That's cool. I'll give you money, but like, you know, when you're reporting on like, oh, hey, you could die from this deadly virus, but you got to pay $4 if you want to know how.
This is what I hate. You've exceeded your limited free amount of 4 times you can view a story from this site. You can view this story by paying $19.99 a month. I'm like, no.
Fuck you, Wired. I ain't paying shit.
Get away from me.
I'll listen to fuck, I can't think of it. Marquez.
Yeah.
I'll listen to him instead. Fuck you, Wired. All right. Anyway, via GameSpot.com, DC Studios will cut down on the number of people playing Batman. That's such a great title. James Gunn and Peter Safran want to streamline the actors in the DCU going forward. Talking to RBC Capital Market, Zaslav. Boo. Said.
Boo, that phony.
Said via the Hollywood Reporter. And so, I skipped one, sorry. Zaslav gave listeners an idea of what's to come and how he plans to get there with Gunn and Safran in charge of creative. He mentioned that the duo is coming close to the end of laying out their Bible for DC and the roadmap for the next 10 years.
I want a copy of the DC Bible.
I've got one. Like, I think it's on the bookshelf.
I want their DC Bible.
In the beginning,
Batman was created.
the Monitor created the Anti-Monitor.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You gotta start with those dudes.
What one should have been one became multiple. A multiverse was born. Well, that's basically what it says.
I know.
There.
That.
Somebody animate that to the opening of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Crisis on Infinite Mats. Am I right?
My God.
Yeah. Somebody's going to get that. It's not available anymore. It actually got blocked because of all the music.
All the music.
Apparently, you can't put the Who on the soundtrack on YouTube. All right.
Anyways, back to it. Zaslav.
I think over the next few years, you're going to see a lot of growth and opportunity around DC. There's not going to be 4 Batmans, Zaslav said via the Hollywood Reporter.
Dang it.
And so part of our strategy is drive the hell out of DC, which James and Peter are going to do. I don't know if I like this. I think they've thrilled the fans. I think they're going to thrill you over a period of time. With the Flash movie supposedly having Michael Keaton as Batman as well as Ben Affleck, it's hard to place where Robert Pattinson's Batman, Rob Batman Batterson, will be in the grand scheme of things. So they might want to mirror what Marvel Studios does and attach a brand to an actor that cements their place in that role, much like how Henry Cavill recently returned as Superman and has been said to be in the role for the considerable future. So no more 4 Bats.
Oh man!
I mean, let me just say, they're not getting rid of Robert Pattinson. That movie made a lot of money.
No, and also
they've already greenlit it.
They had toys They have toys made. We saw some of them on clearance yesterday.
Why do they make toys for? Yeah, I digress.
No, I saw a kid with the Batman shirt on last year.
Based off of this, Maggie.
Yeah.
Who do you think the DC? We'll call it the DCEU, even though it's all the DCU, but just so you know, like which specifically I'm talking about, like the Snyder stuff.
Yeah.
Who do you think will end up being Batman?
Like,
do you think Ben Affleck? Or do you think Michael Keaton?
I don't know. I'd love to see Ben Affleck come back.
I mean, he's apparently... There's a few rumors we haven't really talked about.
Because they're not confirmed.
Yes, but... Well, I think Ben Affleck is, confirmed to be an Aquaman too.
Yeah.
I think, what's his name? The guy, Jason Momoa. He, posted a picture. Mm-hmm. And then... they're saying that the next Wonder Woman movie is a Trinity movie. So it's going to have her and Superman and Batman in it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's what they're saying. Now, who the fuck knows if that's true? After 85?
Probably F it up. I don't know.
After 85, surely, or 84, sorry.
84.
They got a surely to God, I said in the past, just bring it now.
Bring it to modern times. It works.
Dude, if the sequel to Justice League is Wonder Woman 3, I'm down with that. I don't care. At this point, who gives a fuck?
A Trinity movie, that'd be great.
And it's supposed to be Batman, like Ben Affleck Batman. So, I mean, it's supposed to, apparently that's the case. Who knows if that'll happen, okay? Obviously, that was rumored, and James Gunn is in there now. Are they actually going to do that? I don't know. Was that written in to Patty Jenkins' contract? Like, they have to do it. I don't know. I don't know the answers to these questions I'm positing, okay? I'm just
give us the answers. If you know the answers, give us too.
And, of course, Michael Keaton was going to be Batman in Batgirl. So since that's taken off the table, it almost feels like it's a 1 versus 3 situation.
Yeah.
And or do you think that they use Flashpoint? Do you think James Gunn gets in there and is like, you know what? We're going to fix this shit right now. And it just changes the ending to where all the multiverse is gone. And it's just Robert Pattinson is now the Batman in the DCU.
I mean, yeah. And also kill off that person.
Oh, yeah. 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 They
need to be gone.
I wonder if James Gunn will make that not come out. I don't know if he has that kind of power.
I mean, depends on how much moolah was spent into it.
Why don't they just do what they did for the Justice League and just do a digital removal of the face like they did Henry Cavill with the mustache? Just make it look awful. I mean, honestly, this is what I wish. Okay, I wish they would just redub the whole movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Loop the whole movie. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then put a blur over the face, and just be like, oh, he's just moving too fast. Camera can't get him. It's too fast. That's why he's blurry.
Yeah.
It's just blurry. It's crazy.
Yeah. Michael Keaton.
Problem solved.
Michael Keaton's done it. Where are
mystery
you going?
Solved. Next mystery. Next. We're done. I did it. I fixed it.
You
there you go.
Scooby-Dooed it?
Yeah. Who should do the voice of the new Flash? Bradley Cooper. Can we finally get the Bradley Cooper Flash movie we've been needing for fuck's sake? Or Adam Brody. Brody would be good. Who should be the new Flash?
I don't know.
Grant Gustin. A lot of people wanting Grant Gustin.
I know. Well, it's because he's played it on TV for so long. And I think that's who people associate with. But, I don't know.
I love Grant Gustin.
Yeah, I
did until we stopped watching The Flash.
Oh, okay.
5 seasons ago.
Yeah, God.
Yeah. Remember
got wild.
The Thinker, wasn't that his name?
God,
what the fuck happened there? Oh, I know what I got to do to fix this. I just got to run faster.
Yeah,
that's the season finale every year.
Yeah.
Barry, you gotta run faster. Why didn't I think of that?
You're the Flash.
I don't know. So anyway, less Batmans. Pretty good, right? Maybe that Batman, the baby boy Bruce from Joker, maybe
no.
he becomes Batman.
No. 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 No.
So
No.
Okay. Nothing to do with Joker. You just want nothing to... What would you do if Robert Pattinson did become the official Batman for the DCU going forward?
I'd be cool with it.
I think it'd be great.
He's wonderful.
Could you see him and Henry Cavill like playing off each other?
I don't know. It's hard to...
It would be weird.
Because...
They're a little bit age difference.
I mean...
Or him talking... I feel like him talking to Wonder Woman would be even weirder.
Fair. Oh, like... Robert Pattinson, he's so skinny. Like, I know he did like put on a little bit of muscle, but he's lean.
He's supposed to look lean.
Yeah. And like, here's Henry Cavill, and he's like bulked out and thick and stuff. And you're like, I just don't see how a boulder and a toothpick talking to each other. No offense, but like, I don't know how that would work.
Here's what they do, okay? Here's what we do.
Okay. What are we going to do?
Dump truck full of money.
Okay.
Backing up. Beep.
Yeah.
Beep,
Yeah.
Beep. Knock on the door. Hello, we have a delivery here with a big buttload of cash.
Yeah.
And then he's like, that sounds great. Just dump it in the back of my yard. And we bring back Christian Bale as Batman.
No.
We bring back Christian Bale as Batman. Let him be Batman again. Ooh. Or, but think about it. You bring Christian Bale back as Batman, right? You bring back Sean John. I can't think of John Doe. No, Johnny John. I can't think of Don John. That's it. Don John. You bring him back as Nightwing.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Oh my God, Matt.
You bring him back as Nightwing.
Don.
I knew it was I think it was a combination of those words in one way or another. There you go. There it is. You do that. That's what you do.
Okay.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to blur the Flash.
Okay.
We're going to bring back Christian Bale and Jogo.
Yeah.
And we're going to kill off the Joker franchise.
Okay.
I think we did it.
Yeah, we did. We fixed it. There you go.
There you go, James Gunn.
Put it in the Bible.
I expect a dump truck full of money at our door any moment. No.
Accompanied by either Ben Affleck or Robert Pattinson.
Or Henry Cavill.
Or
Gal Gadot. Because I'm a man and I'm lame and I'm sexist. Nah. Oh, sorry. The red kryptonite ring got me again. Sorry about that. Speaking of...
You dork.
I'm sorry. Via GameSpot, again, just killing it.
Like that spot on James Wan.
So, if you're wondering who these two beautiful men are, via GameSpot, James Wan and Jason Blum.
I think it's Bloom. Because isn't it Bloomhouse?
That's what I thought.
Okay.
It's spelled B-L-U-M, like plum, but Blum. Blumhouse.
Blumhouse.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Merging their companies to create a horror powerhouse. The New York Times is reporting that contemporary horror icons Jason Blum and James Wan are to soon merge their companies, Blumhouse Productions and Atomic Monster, respectively. Blumhouse, known for its low-budget approach to horror movies, is currently under a first-look deal with Universal Studios, which would extend to Atomic Monster as long as the deal closes. Wan's similar deal with Warner Brothers ended earlier this year after 7 years. They were together 7 years. Yeah. James is probably 70 to 80% quote. Sorry, this is a quote. James is probably 70 to 80% artist and 30 to 20% business person, and I am the reverse, Blum explained. Oh. We really do complement each other, yin and yang, which is part of what makes this so exciting. Blumhouse and Atomic Monster have already collaborated on the upcoming Megan, a sci-fi thriller about an AI doll that goes haywire and carnage
that
follows.
Looks so creepy.
It's really fucking weird. After merging, it's expected that both production companies will continue to operate as their own labels, with each maintaining its own creative autonomy and sensibilities.
Okay.
Atomic Monster is expecting to utilize the existing Blumhouse infrastructure to further scale its activities in film, television, and new content areas like podcasts and audio programs, and even video games. And then I went in and added a couple of things here just to let you know if you're not sure who these different production companies are. Blumhouse films include the recent Halloween trilogy, The Black Phone, Happy Death Day 1 and 2, fantastic series. Watch them back to back; they're fantastic. The entire Paranormal Activity series, Sinister films, and the Purge series.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they've got some bangers in there. Atomic Monster films include the Conjuring universe, of course. All of those.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, the newest Mortal Kombat movie.
What?
Yeah,
Did it?
Well, they produced it.
Well,
I
they
don't
produced
think
it, but, but that's awesome.
Malignant, that one's for you, Billy. And Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
Only 2.
Only 2.
But James Wan did do the first one.
Yes.
But I guess maybe to like give him more money, they made his production company a co-producer of Aquaman 2. So that's usually what happens. You get, they're like, well, we can't pay you more, but we can make you a producer and you get more money. And they're like, well, that's fucking
stupid.
That's what I was wanting anyway. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, but you're a producer. That's why, like, Will Smith is a producer on Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't actually, he doesn't do anything. It's just, that's how they got him to come into the Karate Kid or some shit. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the same Will Smith. It might be that computer guy that's on Twitter.
Oh.
Called Will Smith.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, he's like, I'm not Will Smith, guys. Anyway, enough talking about Will Smith. I will say, based off of all this, sounds cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Mm-hmm. I don't understand the point. If, like, going back to this, after merging, it's expected that both production companies will continue to operate as their own labels, with each maintaining its own creative autonomy and sensibilities. So, like, what's the point? I mean, I guess that it does say here that Atomic Monster is expecting to utilize the existing Blumhouse infrastructure. So I guess instead of James Wan trying to build up his own, stuff with other companies, instead of like signing a deal with Warner Brothers again, or having to, self-produce his own movies, like, kind of merging with Blumhouse to use their money, I guess, is what I'm thinking. Now I will say, obviously, those movies that he produced, like Conjuring Universe, Mortal Kombat, all of those will remain Warner Brothers properties. Yeah. Because they paid for it. Yeah. So yeah. Maggie, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's kind of exciting. I mean, both of them really know that genre pretty well and do it well.
I feel like they've made some of the best horror movies in the past decades.
Yes.
I
agree.
A24 should be on there too, but they're a little too scary for me. Like, they fuck with my brain a little too much, Yeah.
That's what I was thinking when I was reading. I was like, golly, what if like A24 steps in and says, hey guys, why don't you come over here with us?
Dude, they're making the Friday the 13th series also at NBC Peacock, which is owned by Universal.
Yeah.
And they're got a first look deal with Universal. So could A24 and them co-produce a movie together?
It could happen.
It could Conjuring and Midsommar.
No.
It'd be insane. Or Megan and Midsommar. Megan goes to Midsommar. That sounds like
Megan loves you.
That sounds like a Mad TV sketch.
Yes, it does.
The cartoon, not the shitty sketch comedy show. Yes. Anything else you want to say about this? No. All right, let's move on. Speaking of moving on, all right, everybody, buckle up. I didn't even mean that to be a pun. Via the Wrap, Fast X's budget has ballooned to $340 million.
What in the heck are they buying? Or paying somebody?
There's a couple of things here. It actually isn't as fun as I was hoping it'd be. I was hoping they'd say, Vin Diesel needed like 3 lines on set at all times or something. Something ridiculous. But no, it's not that fun. Here it says the budget for Fast X, the 10th film in the Universal's lucrative Fast and Furious action franchise, has ballooned to $340 million. According to individuals with knowledge of the production, that's 70% more than the reported $200 million budget for 2021's Fast 9.
Good God.
70% increase over that. And easily the most expensive entry in the action series that has generated $6.6 billion in worldwide ticket sales, Maggie.
Billion.
6.6 billion. This fucking Fast and Furious franchise, $6.6 billion.
You know how last week about Star Wars it said "Let it die."
This is Universal's cash cow.
No. It needs to die. It needs to die for a few years.
No, Maggie, you're forgetting.
It needs
Remember?
To go to sleep. Let it go to sleep.
All right, everybody. If you haven't joined us in a while when I've talked about Fast and Furious, all right, here's what they're gonna do. 10, 11 is a two-parter. Okay, Universal owns Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This is what's gonna happen. They're gonna go back in time. All right. Think about it. They've done everything else. They went to space. They already went to space. So what more can they do? They go back to the past. And we do a Back to the Future 2 situation where we see Vin Diesel re-experiencing the first movie again, right? Because stay with me, I have evidence, okay? One, obviously, a car known for time traveling is also owned by Universal, the fucking DeLorean. Right, so we just make Back to the Future part of the Fast and Furious universe.
Here we go, guys.
All right, and Vin Diesel's like, I gotta go see a guy, and then he
goes, the movies.
And he lifts up the thing, and you hear the little chime music from Back to the Future, and it's the DeLorean. No Doc, no Marty, no explanation, because obviously the DeLorean, as far as we know, is gone. Like it died at the end of the third one. Like it's done. But it's just there. It's just going to be there. Okay. And that's it. We're not going to understand why. How does Vin Diesel know about it? None of that is going to be explained. Okay. You just have to accept it.
I feel like that's a plot hole.
No, you just have to accept it. All right. He's like, I got to go to Hill Valley. Like, and he goes, right? And then he goes back in time. All right. And now, is that the ending of the first part? Maybe. I'm not sure. But they got to fix some shit, right? Like, oh man, I should have not been so mean to my brother or something. I don't know. And that's why in Fast 9, we had all of those flashback scenes with the younger cast so that Vin Diesel can interact with them in the past. That's what we're doing, Maggie. That's why they did that. So that when we see young Vin Diesel, we already know that that's young Vin Diesel. That's what it is. I'm telling you. Before this franchise dies, they're going to time travel. Now, will it be with the DeLorean? I pray to God it is. That would be too perfect.
It's going to be
up.
Ludacris and Tyrese cooking up
it'll be something like,
together.
Yeah. And they'll put a fork in a microwave and then they time travel. You
know? Whoa!
Yeah, it'll be basically the Simpsons episode where Homer time travel.
Oh, I feel like it'd be the Futurama episode where they go back to the past.
Yeah.
Because Fry put the Jiffy Pop in the microwave.
That's great.
Why does everything taste blue?
But see, then, Maggie, once they've done that and they've changed the past, now you get to redo all 10 movies with this new cast. But you have Old Man Diesel still being there to help guide them. All right.
As a Jedi ghost?
No, he's just in the past with them. It's a one-way ticket. It's a one-way ticket.
To the movies.
And then it turns out that Brian died or something. And that's why they gotta go back in time. To keep Brian from dying. Back in time. Because for some reason they're still milking Paul Walker in this franchise.
Yeah, no.
Why the fuck do they keep doing that? Like for real, like let him rest. You know, like I was like they had perfect reasons to be able to write the character off. You know, and then they were like, okay, maybe he's gone. But then in 9, they're like, oh, there he is. And like just pants walking up. And it's like, why the fuck are you still doing this? Let him go, guys. Like it's starting to get like wrong, you know? Like it was one thing to finish up 7 and like let his character have a good ending. That's where it should have ended. Okay.
Yeah.
Like bring the sister back. I get all that, you know, but like, nah, let Brian's character just rest for God's sakes. And also naming Vin Diesel's kid in the movie Brian makes no fucking sense.
It makes no sense.
That'd be like if I named our son, if we ever have one, after one of your brothers.
Yeah.
You know? It's not going to happen.
No.
And that's not even it. It would be like if you named our son after one of my brothers.
Yeah.
That's what it would be like. And that's just weird. Why would you do that? You know? I'm just asking questions here, okay? They should have named him Paul.
Yeah.
We all would have been on it.
That would have made more sense.
Yeah, we all would have been on it. Paul could have remained a part of the series, you know?
Brian.
Anyway. I didn't even tell why.
Whoops.
The surging price tag, which factors in tax incentive offsets, can be blamed on numerous budget-busting elements, including increased salaries for series star Vin Diesel and the rest of the franchise's ensemble cast, general increases in production costs caused by global inflation, and charges for pandemic testing requirements mandated by COVID-19 safety protocols. And probably also where they fired the director and had to hire a new director and shut down production
and
for
also
like 5
they got
months.
Jason Momoa and Brie Larson coming on board.
I mean, hey, it's Fast X for a reason, you know? They should do a Fast 11, Ocean's 11 crossover. That's Warner Brothers. It wouldn't work.
Okay.
Speaking of wouldn't work, that's not fair.
That's not fair.
That's not nice. I shouldn't say that.
No,
This may
fair.
work. Honestly, I didn't mean it about Silk. I meant it about MGM Plus.
Okay.
Just so we're clear. I was talking about MGM Plus, not the show. I didn't even know MGM Plus was a thing.
I didn't.
Not gonna lie to you.
Like, what the hell?
Like, literally, when I read this story, I was like, MGM Plus is a thing? What is MGM Plus? It's just Amazon Prime.
Uh-oh. That's stupid. Why?
Because they bought MGM.
But why would... Never mind.
And Amazon Prime, when everybody thinks of Amazon Prime, they think of shipping. Like, who's the last person to be like, oh, I want to watch a movie. Let's look on Amazon Prime. You know? I forget that they even have movies.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true.
Go to Netflix.
Yeah.
Go to Hulu.
Disney
HBO
Plus.
Max, Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, you know, Paramount Plus,
Crunchyroll.
all these goddamn pluses. Why don't somebody man up and do a minus? You know, here's hopefully awesome minus. If you pay us $2, we'll give you less content. I'm gonna make that a tier on Patreon. You pay $2, and we will block you.
No.
From YouTube. From where you can't see us. You just can't see any of it. Hopefully also minus. I'm telling you.
My Lord.
It's going to be big. All right.
All right.
Okay. So via The Hollywood Reporter, Walking Dead showrunner to lead Marvel's Silk for Amazon and MGM Plus, Angela Kang recently exited the planned Norman Reedus spin-off series and has signed an overall deal with Amazon. Silk is based on characters created by Dan Slott and
Humberto Ramos.
Okay. The series is inspired by the Marvel Comics and follows Cindy Moon, a Korean-American woman bitten by the same spider that bit Peter Parker, as she escapes imprisonment and searches for her missing family on her way to becoming the superhero known as Silk. The show marks one of the first to feature a Korean-American superhero at its center. Excuse me. Angela Kang has moved her overall deal from AMC to Amazon and is signed on to oversee Silk Spider Society, is what it's called. The first in an expected slate of Marvel TV series based on the Sony Pictures universe that features more than 900 characters.
Huh?
There are 900 characters that they have access to because they have the rights to Spider-Man.
Oh,
Now,
God.
that includes everyone.
Oh, I know.
That's J. Jonah Jameson. That's a character. So we're not going to get 900 movies. Okay?
No.
Now, would they do a Robbie Williams, I think was his name? The JJ's like, remember in the cartoon, JJ's like secondhand guy?
Oh, yeah.
Would they make a movie based on him? Probably not. But I mean, they could. They could, you know? I don't know. The series, which is executively produced by Phil Lord and Chris Miller from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, will air first domestically on MGM Plus, the premium cable network currently known as Epix.
Okay. Yeah.
So Epix is being rebranded, not Amazon Prime. That's my bad. And then globally on Amazon Prime's video platform. So Amazon Prime is still going to be called Amazon Prime. I forgot Epix existed. Oh, is that why they lost the rights to Pennyworth, the origin of Batman's butler? Because that's on HBO Max now.
Yeah. Pennyworth.
God.
You got to read the whole title.
You know,
the origin of Batman's butler.
When Teen Titans Go has made a joke about your title before your title has come
happens.
out, maybe rethink it. Okay, the fact that Teen Titans Go mocked you, let's really think through this idea. Anyway, Amy Pascal, Phil Lord, Chris Miller, and Sony's recent live-action and animated reimagining of the Spider-Man franchise has represented some of the most dynamic superhero storytelling in film, said Jennifer Salk, head of Amazon Studios. Together with Angela Kang's creative vision, we couldn't be more pleased to bring Silk Spider Society to our MGM Plus and Prime Video customers. The news marks the first official confirmation from Amazon that they are indeed working with Sony on a slate of Marvel original TV series after the deal had been rumored for the past 2 years. Lord and Miller will steer the larger franchise for Sony Pictures TV, Amazon, and MGM. Amazon now owns MGM, so the linear deal makes sense in that regard. The Amazon slate of Marvel originals gives the Salk-led streamer a popular IP in addition to Lord of the Rings, and will no doubt help the platform compete with the likes of Disney Plus and other subscription video offerings. Quote, I'm beyond thrilled to be joining Amazon Studios family for the next chapter of my career, King said. I look forward to working with the executive team on diverse character-forward water cooler shows for a global audience, and I'm excited to dive into my first challenge, bringing Korean-American superhero Silk to life on screen. It also said that she's got a couple other shows in the works, too. Not related to Marvel.
No.
Lord and Miller moved their overall deal from Disney's 20th Television to Sony in April 2019. And as a part of the 9-figure pact, were handed control of the studio's Marvel slate. Sony retains rights to characters including Spider-Man and all his villains like Green Goblin, Venom, Morbius, and Black Cat and Silver Sable, both previously in development on the feature side. Select TV projects related to Sony's Marvel characters will be produced in partnership with former Sony Pictures Entertainment co-chairman Pascal, also possibly on the table, all the characters from Into the Spider-Verse. A timeline for when Silk will arrive has not yet been determined. So Amy Pascal, of course, known for being the lady beside Kevin Feige.
That can't see through her hair.
Saying that Tom Hardy was absolutely in the same universe as the Avengers. And Kevin Feige just being like, no. No, he's not.
Yeah.
He is not. How fucking dare you, Amy? How fucking dare you? I really feel like they just shot that post-credit scene in Carnage.
Yeah.
Like on in somebody's hotel room. You know, they're like,
yeah. Bless you, Lou.
Because that scene is just, remember, like, it's just like a still image of Tom Holland. And then how, like, Venom was like, that guy. It's like, how do you fucking know who that guy is? Yeah. We never even talked about it. They never even explained it.
Yeah.
The best thing that Kevin Feige has ever done was sending Venom's ass back to the Sony universe, you know? Here's the thing. I have no hope for anything Sony related except for the Madam Web movie, which oddly looks really good. because Ben from Parks and Rec is in
Adam
it.
Scott.
Adam Scott, yeah. That guy. But yeah. Did you know Tom Holland still has yet to sign a new contract with Sony? Like, they should have wrapped that shit up immediately. How the fuck you gonna let him slip through your fingers after you make No Way Home and it makes like $1.3 billion or however fucking much it made, you know? They haven't even signed a deal with Andy either. Andrew Garfield? They haven't signed a deal with him either. And I haven't heard anything on Toby's end. But like, fucking, what are you doing? Like, for the love of fuck, you know? It's right there. It's money in your goddamn hands. And you're like, maybe we should make a Silk show instead. You fucking, God, Sony. Jesus, fuck.
Easy there, Matt.
I just don't understand.
You're getting Lucy worried.
All right, you know what? I'm worried too. Maggie, any thoughts about all this?
I mean, I'd like to have hope for the Silk show because I always thought Silk was an interesting character. But, I mean...
It's Sony.
It's Sony.
Now, to play devil's advocate against myself.
Yes.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller
are
over the whole thing.
Yeah.
And if anybody, listen, obviously Into the Spider-Verse. If you're not, for some reason, still haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse,
Lego.
go fucking watch Into the Spider-Verse. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Claudia with a chance of meatballs.
Sure. But the after party.
Oh, yeah, the after party. Yeah.
Come the fuck on.
Yeah.
One of the, probably, it may be at the top of our list for the ranking of the year. Like, I don't know. It's pretty fucking perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that gives me hope. But yeah, it just stinks.
Yeah.
Because it's not MCU.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
No.
All right. Let's move on to a word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by patreon.com/hopefullyawesome.
That's right. At the $5 tier, you can have access to every episode we make ad-free and have your name listed in the credits of every video. At $10, you'll be able to get access to our all-new exclusive shows right here on patreon.com/hopefullyawesome. Those include Hopefully Weekly, a weekly show where Maggie and I catch up on all the things that's happened over the past week, both in our life and in the world around us. Family Game Night, a weekly show where Maggie and I will play a variety of board games, from Blockbuster Party Game all the way to Fast and the Furious Heist Game, whatever that is.
Highway Heist.
The Hopefully Awesome movie commentary that we'll do once a month, where Maggie and I will watch one of our favorite films and then record us talking about it over it. Kind of like a mix between Mystery Science Theater 3000 and, just us goofing off and talking about nothing related to the film. And lastly, Matt plus Maggie. This is our monthly show where Maggie and I talk about our relationship. I don't think we'll be giving any advice, but hey, tune in. It'll be fun. And if you want to go above and beyond at the $25 level, not only do you get everything that we've just talked about, but you also get a verbal shout out as our Patreon producer of the entire month. All this and more.
So sign up at patreon.com/hopefullyawesome today.
And we're back. Thank you for that word, Matt and Maggie. Now let's get on to our main topics.
Didn't mean to hit the button.
It's time for the main topics. I love it. So we actually have two for you today. We're going to talk about two movies. We're going to review both of them. Spirited from Apple TV Plus and Disenchanted from Disney Plus. So we're going to do Spirited first. And again, if this is your first time joining us, we will be doing a spoiler-free section, and then we'll get into spoilers for both of these movies. I'm not really sure how much spoilers and spoiler-free there really would be. There's a few things, but so I don't think these will last too long, but we'll see. We'll see how long these go. So let's move into our first one. Spirited just hit Disney. Nope.
Nope.
We'll try that again. I'll try that again. Spirited, starring Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, just happened to hit Apple TV Plus this past weekend, and me and Maggie definitely sat down and watched it, checked it out, and I'll be honest, going into it, I knew next to nothing about this.
Yeah.
I had seen like a couple of photos from back in the day, like literally them being on like an old timey road.
Yeah.
And then I also saw the TikTok of Ryan Reynolds doing the I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky. And then Will Ferrell comes in. It's fucking phenomenal. So based off of that alone, I was excited for this movie, I even asked Maggie, I was like, you think that song will be in it? She's like, no. So I don't think, we didn't watch any trailers, did we?
No.
I don't think we did.
No, and they released like a couple of like promos before, like the week before it came out. Them sitting by a fireplace and stuff.
Okay. I may have seen like things not in the movie, like just them talking about it or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I didn't know the style of music. I didn't know how much of a musical it would be. Like I knew there would be songs, but I figured it was just,
I knew tap dancing was a part of it because I think in one of the promos they mentioned like, oh, we didn't learn tap dancing for nothing, we learned it for real.
Yeah.
And I mean, that kind of piqued my interest. I was like, oh, they learned tap dancing.
And I kind of like, I think I did know that it was going to be a version of Christmas Carol. Like I knew like it was a Scrooge situation, but I didn't know like, I figured it was just a modern retelling.
Yeah.
I figured Will
like
Ferrell
Scrooged.
I figured Will Ferrell was going to be like all three ghosts, and like it was just condensed into one character, and just be what was it, like the girls or the ghosts of girlfriends past.
Yes.
But that's kind of where I was at with it, and I really didn't know much. Maggie, before we jump in, where were you at?
I was really intrigued because hello, it's Will Ferrell and Ron Reynolds.
Come on,
one more
do you
could
need?
you? Yeah,
you got the boner and the bony.
God.
Well, I'm talking about a boner is like a mess up,
and
oh, I'm such a bonehead.
God.
All right, enough boner.
Anyways,
boink.
Oh my God. Anyways, and I don't know, I was trying not to have my hopes up too high, but like I was very, very intrigued by the fact that they're in it and they're going to be singing, and they're going to be dancing.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know much about the story. So, yeah, that's where I was at.
And then we turned it on.
Yep.
And now before we give any details away, let's not go into any details.
No.
Because I do think this movie works better the less you know.
Yep.
I mean,
I
at
agree.
least it did for us.
Yeah.
But I think if you do know some of the stuff about it, I think it's still very much enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that I love this movie.
Yes.
Like every moment of it was just a big smile on my face. The music was fantastic. I did not expect it to go as hard as it did. The fact that they really stuck to like a Broadway aspect.
Yes.
Like most of the sets are kind
Very
of
wide.
Yeah, wide and
looks like a
flat,
stage.
Yeah. Plenty of room to be able to dance on and stuff. And as far as the story goes, like I love this idea, and I'll go into more details in the spoilers, but I really love what they've done with the story this time around. It made A Christmas Carol feel new, which is insane given the amount of A Christmas Carols we've had. I mean, like you said, Scrooged is obviously one of the big ones, but Muppet Christmas Carol, Flintstones Christmas Carol, the original Christmas Carol,
Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol.
And then, I mean, literally every show has done A Christmas Carol at one point or another, or It's a Wonderful Life. That's the two that they usually go for. So, I mean, honestly, when I heard it was like a modern Christmas Carol, I was not that excited. I was like, do we really need another one? Like, do we need another funny version?
Yeah.
Like we got Scrooge. Do we really
need?
Yeah. And we do, because this is phenomenal.
Yes.
Honestly, the joy that you get from watching this movie, I haven't felt like a Christmas movie feel this heartwarming since probably Elf.
Yeah.
Like, you're watching it and you're just in a great mood. You know? Now, if you don't like musicals, if you just hate musicals, you're not going to like this movie. Okay.
No, you're not.
Now, I would suggest still giving it a shot, because the music in it has comedy. So like it's not just like a straightforward musical, and it's not like Les Mis where everything that's said is a
depressing
song. Yeah, well, I meant like how they sing the entire show.
Yeah.
Like this is like,
that's how Sweeney Todd was.
oh my God, I can't stand that. So like this will, like they'll talk and then they'll burst into song.
Yeah.
Music tonally wise kind of reminded me of as far as like the comedic aspect of it, reminded me of like the Buffy musical, like where it was kind of tongue in cheek a little bit. But sound wise, like the way the music went, reminded me a lot of The Greatest Showman. Like it felt a lot like The Greatest Showman in the best fucking possible way.
Yes.
Like it was great. Some of those tap dancing numbers, just phenomenal. Holy fuck,
all the choreography was great.
Yes. And Will Ferrell brings it.
Oh yeah, he does.
And so does Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Like they both fucking bring it. They sing and they dance. And I didn't know, like I'd heard Will Ferrell sing, in a funny way on different things, like Saturday Night Live, Anchorman, but I mean, to hear him actually
sing
legit, like he's a good singer.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds too.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck aren't they in more musicals,
No, it's official. Deadpool 3, it's a musical.
Dude.
Please do it.
I mean, because Hugh Jackman
I know.
is That's what I call him. I just call him Huge Jacked Man every time.
I know. We know, Matt.
I know. Morph. But yeah, like he's a musical guy, so just at least have one musical number in it. Like, how funny would that be?
Yeah.
And even go a little too far and bring Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, even though it's a different studio and everything, right? And it would not make sense. Bring her in to help do the musical number too. Like, that'd be ridiculous. That would make no sense.
No.
But it's Deadpool, so it would make sense, you know? But yeah, so starting off the movie, I was, like, the very first thing we see, I was almost concerned because I kind of was getting some of those made-for-TV movie feels, you know?
Oh, God.
His headphone fell out. Like, almost like a Hallmark, or like, you know, I was worried. I've been thinking a lot about that old Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen movie, To Grandmother's House We Go.
Yeah.
And like, that's been stuck in my head the past few days for some reason. And like, so I don't know if I was just preemptively thinking this is going to not be well made, you know?
Yeah.
No, it is a full-fledged movie. Like, I honestly, when we ended it, I told Maggie I wish I'd seen it in theaters.
Yeah.
Like, it was, I mean, it's perfectly made for it. Yeah.
It's great.
And so the fact that you can watch it on Apple TV Plus for free is phenomenal. Like, I mean, obviously you have to be subscribed to Apple TV Plus, but it's not like an iTunes purchase or something. And I mean, I'll say this, I think I don't have many more things to say before spoilers. So actually, before I say that, Maggie, what do you want to say about the movie?
All I can say is this: if this is ever out physically, I want it.
Yeah, totally. I want to be able to own this in one way or another.
No, I think that gives it away.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything else. I was blown away by this.
Yeah.
And just for me personally, I think this is like one of my favorite Christmas movies.
No, I'm with you. It's definitely in the rotation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I want to watch this every year.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good.
Yes.
It's like, it's almost as good as Jingle All the Way. Okay.
How dare
you. Better than that.
How dare you.
But no, oh man, you know what we should do? In December, we should rank our Christmas movies.
Oh, God.
That's what we should do. That'd be so fun. Oh, my God. All right, we're going to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to write that down.
Okay.
But yeah, anything else you'd like to say before? Okay. So the last thing I'll say is, as far as reviewing this goes, of course, in spoilers, we're going to gush over all the specific details. So if you have already seen it, definitely stick around. If you've not, though, and you're intrigued by what we say, check it out. I think this is well worth signing up for Apple TV Plus. You probably get like a 30-day free trial. So, I mean, at least do that. But, I mean, while you're there, also check out Severance. Also check out After Party.
Yes.
Also check out goddamn Ted Lasso. For fuck's sake.
It just wrapped on season 3.
And if if you're like me and you watch Charlie Brown every year, fucking Charlie Brown Christmas is on there too. You gotta get a twofer. Get a twofer. So I think definitely, hands down, this is worth the price of admission. Go do it. Cancel it afterwards if you have to. But I loved it.
Yes.
I loved it. I think it's definitely check it out. Don't let it pass you by. All right. Ready to do spoilers?
Ready.
Here we go with spoilers. Spoilers. I can't believe Ryan Reynolds was dead the whole time. Maybe not the whole time, just at the end.
Just at the end.
Dude. Okay, so I'm going to kick this off with a big spoiler. From me. It was a big spoiler for me. So we're watching this movie, and I don't know jack shit about this movie. And Will Ferrell starts alluding to the fact that he was saved.
Yes.
Right? And like we see like a little statue with like a top hat and stuff. And I look over at Maggie and I say, is he Scrooge? Like, is this like what happened to Scrooge like after A Christmas Carol?
Yeah.
And then but then they say something about like Charles Dickens in the real world.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I guess not, because like if they know Charles Dickens, then they know Scrooge.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, they can't really, and I was like, well, but maybe Charles Dickens knew Scrooge and wrote about it or something,
Yeah.
Or maybe Charles Dickens had been changed by Scrooge,
maybe.
and Scrooge told him his history or something.
Yeah.
So when they finally revealed that he was Ebenezer Scrooge, I fucking loved that so much. The fact that this is a secret sequel to A Christmas Carol is just so fucking perfect in every possible way. Like, it just made this movie even more lovable than I thought it would be.
And like I told you, I guess it's like halfway through the movie, or even at the end of the movie. I can't remember when I said this, but like, I remember watching the Santa Claus as a kid and thinking, man, this is so cool how they thought out about how this is how Santa Claus works, and this is how the workshop works, and the magic and stuff. And the way they thought outside of the box for this, just show the behind the scenes of the Christmas, the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, Future.
Yes.
Oh, they only select one person a year to fix and try to figure out all their ticks and stuff. Like, that to me spoke a lot, because I felt like a kid again, because this is new.
Yeah.
This is not the same story told over and over again.
They made a sequel to A Christmas Carol and it didn't suck.
Yeah.
Do you know how impossible that is? That'd be like if they made a sequel to It's a Wonderful Life and it not suck.
Yeah.
It's just impossible. You know? I cannot imagine them pulling that off. So the fact that this works.
Yes.
And I love that. I love Ryan Reynolds' character in it. And I love that he's almost refusing to change.
Yes.
But I love that at the end that the message is like, it's just one choice. Just do a little bit of good.
Yeah.
You don't. It's every day.
You can't be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the fact that happens, and then of course, so fucking distraught at the end when he dies.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, like, while they were dancing and stuff, I was like, okay, well, the lady at the beginning, she like hit the ball. And then, everything froze and they talked to her and she had actually moved to in front of the ball and then the ball hits her, right?
Yeah.
So when they were singing and dancing, I was like, oh, okay, so he's not going to be in front of the bus when it comes back out. But then they go back to being in front of it right at the end of the song. And I was like, oh, fuck no. And then he got hit and then he fucking dies.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy fuck, this movie just went fucking hard, man.
Yeah.
Because, like, I love that fact that they were like, even though it was right at the end, like you made that one right choice, and redeemed yourself as a human.
Yeah.
And like all the stuff, the Will Ferrell song about being forever unredeemable, cried my eyes out. Holy shit, man. That was powerful.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Dude.
Oh my gosh. It, like, him singing that, it was so, like, I don't know, may sound weird coming out as a sentence, but Will Ferrell has a really sweet voice.
He does. No, you're absolutely right.
He has a sweet voice.
He was doing like almost like Buddy the Elf.
Yeah.
Where he's very kind and lovable.
Yeah.
And like he's able to really bring that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just how he acts. It's almost like a child's wonderment, But like, I mean, the fact that he was so heartwarming and lovable and yet had so much pain, like at the same time about his old life, and wanting more and like that being taken away from him and stuff. But like all that's under the surface, you know, like it was just, he nailed it, man. And Ryan Reynolds, like going back through his life and him, lying to himself, lying to us, the audience, that it's not having an effect. And then, of course, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can't talk about all this without mentioning, I'm totally blanking on her name. Will Ferrell's love interest.
Oh.
I gotta look it up.
God,
she was fantastic.
Yeah, she was great. And she's been in a lot of stuff. Oh, God, what is her name?
I'm looking. It's still loading. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
There you go. Spirited.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
It's hard to move on when we're trying to remember someone's name. Octavia Spencer.
Yeah.
Octavia Spencer is so freaking good in this.
Yes.
And then of course, Tracy Morgan.
Yes.
So I could shout out to Tracy Morgan. Fantastic.
As the ghost of Christmas future.
Yeah. It just points at stuff.
He just points at stuff. Don't let him weird you out or anything.
He says, "You got Christmas Carol, bitch." It's so good. Oh my God.
And the guy, who plays Jacob Marley?
Yes.
Patrick Page. Man.
Dude, he nailed it.
He nailed
and
it.
his song.
Yes.
And like Ryan Reynolds keeps interrupting it. So good.
Yes.
And the party where everybody's Christmas characters and somebody's
it's
Buddy the Elf.
Yeah.
Dude, come on, man.
Yeah, there was so much going on there.
That's great.
I like that. Are they shit whispering me?
What's her name? Sunita Mani?
I think so.
But she plays the ghost of Christmas Past. I thought she was really funny.
Yeah, she was.
Like
she was a blast.
In a movie with both Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell, she totally held her own.
Yes.
She gave me some great laughs in that.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, everything in it, there was not one point in this movie that I was bored or that I thought was cheesy, too cheesy. Or like any music that I was like, I probably won't listen to this one again. Like literally the whole movie.
Yes.
Good Afternoon is going to be stuck in my fucking head for the next 3 months.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
It's too good.
Yeah.
And like that whole performance, that honestly, that's where this stance comes from, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously they're not in those suits, but like this where they're doing that, you know? Dude, so freaking good. God. And it just ended perfectly.
Yeah.
The fact that he becomes a ghost, because, okay. So we was watching it, right?
Yeah.
We were watching it. And, you know, I was thinking to myself, I was like, you know, usually in this movie, like in movies like this, once the character like redeems himself, they find some sort of way to show that very front and center by having an impact on a relationship that we've seen.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, typically it takes the form of a girlfriend or a wife or, you know, something like that. And like he had hugged his brother, but we really didn't know his brother that well.
Yeah. We didn't know Owen that well.
Yeah. And so I was kind of racking my brain. I was like, well, we've seen Octavia Spencer, but obviously that's Will Ferrell's love interest. So it'd be kind of weird to wrap up Reynolds' story with her. And I was like, so who could they possibly do this with?
Yeah.
And like it dawned on me after he died, and like the door opens and it's the white light, and I'm like, fuck, it's his sister.
Yeah.
Like she's the one that we've got to know the most as a reflection of his character.
Yeah.
So of course the way that we're going to see that he's changed is through the eyes of his sister. And the only way he can do that is if he's dead too, you know? Yeah. And like just perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I cannot believe that they did that.
Yeah.
Like and nailed it so good. And then of course wrapping it up, it's almost like having your cake and eating it too, because you know he dies. Yeah. You know, so we get all of that. You know, and it was still worth it for him to die, for him to
that
change.
Sacrifice. Yes.
Yeah, it was still worth it. But then he also, you know, still gets to come around and hang out with people and shit.
Yeah.
I
like Jacob Marley, like Ryan Reynolds is trying to tell him, and Jacob Marley's like, nope, walk to the light, go with your sister, walk into the light. But
it's just been forever since I had somebody crawl up my ass so hard.
And I love Ryan Reynolds saying, you know, no, I'll do it. I'll do the job. You need somebody, don't you? And like it shows him changing everything. Rather than doing one person, we're going to do multiple people. There's a lot of assholes out there.
It's perfect for his character.
Yes.
Because that's still what he does.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, they nailed it. I can't explain it anymore. Like, and then of course seeing Will Ferrell and Octavia Spencer and having kids. Like, oh my gosh, just so beautiful, so perfect.
Just like how he's fixing that playground. And he lets it
get off the shed. Obviously, that's not what he says, but it's
you're making me drop the screws. And Ron Reynolds walks in. He's like, "I'm sorry." It comes out every now and then. He comes out every now and then.
The kids run through him.
Yeah. He's like, it never gets old.
Oh my god, dude! I'd love another one of these. Like, I don't know what you'd do with the story, and probably nothing. It'd probably be a Men in Black 2 situation where it just wouldn't make any sense. Be like, oh, Will Ferrell's got to die again so he can save somebody else, or, you know. Nobody wants that. It's perfect the way it is.
Yeah.
I really loved it, and I'd love more.
Oh no.
Even if it's not Will Ferrell, or even if it's like, you know, maybe Ryan Reynolds is going to try and hunt somebody, and you know he does bring Will Ferrell to help him, but like Will Ferrell's not dead. Yeah. You know, and like
Will Ferrell's there like while they're sleeping. He's like, I shouldn't be here.
I mean, it could be like Hugh Jackman or something. You know, the first person I thought of was what's his name? He makes the movies with The Rock all the time.
Kevin Hart. Somebody said,
Look at Kevin Hart. That'd be great.
Oh, they said that if they do recast Black Panther, somebody said Kevin Hart
as Black Panther.
Yes.
Oh my god. All right, don't spoil anything about Black Panther. Yeah. So anyway, that's I think that's all I got to say about it. It's perfect. Like if we gave ratings, didn't we at one time give ratings? Like, didn't we give scores at one point? Because I feel like I used to say 4 out of 5. And 5 out of 5.
Used to do it.
Yeah. And I just don't do that anymore.
No,
I haven't done that in a long time.
No.
But I loved it. It's definitely, I would be shocked if it doesn't make at least the top 10 list of the year. I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
So, anyway, anything else you want to say?
No.
All right. Spoilers over. Yeah, so now we are going to go on to our next movie, Disenchanted. Again, we will start spoiler free and then we will get into the spoilers. So let's get to it. Ready?
Yep. Get on. Sorry.
Disenchanted hit Disney Plus this weekend. That's right, the sequel to Enchanted. So this is another one of those Disney Plus original films. And I'll be honest, those have been a bit of a mixed bag for me. There's been some that I thought were really good. Blanking on them. All the good ones right now. But, then we also had some that was like, oh, I see why this is on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Lady and the Tramp. It was fun.
It was fun.
Like, it was definitely a made for Disney Plus movie.
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus 2. And so with this one, I didn't know what to expect. Are we going to get, something with a little bit lower budget? Are we going to get, are we actually going to get a good story? I mean, you're doing a sequel to a movie that came out in 2007?
Yes.
And now it's 2022, you know? And so how is this really going to work? And then based off some of the trailers, oh, she's turning evil and okay. I'm just, don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we started it, and of course we're spoiler free right now. So Maggie, how'd you feel watching it?
I say at the start of it, I was kind of worried. I was worried. I was like, oh great, we're Hocus Pocus again.
Yeah.
But as it went on, it got better.
It got really good.
And the song, I thought the song sounded really good. Yeah. And again, 2 movies back to back with awesome choreography. Yeah. I
would say the only downfall for it, because of us, it's our fault. We watched Spirited before we watched Disenchanted. Yeah. And the music and production in Spirited, I feel like is just top tier. Yeah. And this felt a little bit more like Beauty and the Beast live action, if that makes sense. It's, just a little bit lower, It's just a little bit lower.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was still great. And had I not watched Spirited first, I would have thought this was a great musical in the moments that it has music.
Yeah.
No, I'm right there with you. We kind of started it, and it was 20 minutes in. I was like, we got to put Viv to bed. Do we really want to start it back up tonight? You want to wait till tomorrow?
Yeah.
But then, when we got back to it, basically after the first act, when the first act ends, it starts getting really good.
Yeah.
It takes the first act to just set everything in place and to get the story going. Yeah. Jesus, I wish it would have moved just a hair quicker.
Yeah.
But the moment the spell, we'll say a spell, comes into play, I feel like the movie takes a really good turn.
Yes.
And then by the third act, I was shocked that I was crying and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck, how is this happening?
Yeah.
Because where we began was very much not there,
No, yeah.
I was like, it's an ABC original movie, but no, I thought they did a really good job. I think this is probably the best Disney Plus movie we've gotten. I mean, I'm not counting Encanto.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not a Disney Plus movie.
No, because it also released in theaters.
Did it?
Yes.
Okay. But it came out very shortly onto Disney Plus.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm not talking about any of the premium ones like Black Widow, even though this definitely is better than Black Widow.
Yeah. And Jungle Cruise.
And probably Mulan. I'd probably put it above Mulan. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's where I'm at with it, Maggie. Anything else you want to say? I feel like we got a few things we want to talk about in spoilers.
Yeah.
So as somebody who did not watch Enchanted when it first came out, I think I didn't watch it until a couple of years ago when we watched it together.
Yeah, you're like, I've never watched Enchanted. I'm like, oh my God, you gotta watch it.
I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of the old, oh, we're in a universe and now we're coming to the real world stories, like Smurfs and there's too many to name. Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yeah. Like it's a trope, Yeah. I think it actually, we looked it up. It has a name. The trope has a name. Yeah. I think it was in our Chippendale review. Yeah. Which they did not do that.
No, they didn't.
So I was kind of there, and also it was 2007, 2008. And at that point I was 23. And so I wasn't really, what? Or no,
you would have been 20.
20, yeah, sorry, 20. I was thinking 3 years after.
I was like, I graduated high school in 2007. I was 18, buddy.
Yeah. And so I was kind of in a weird place where I was like Disney adjacent. And I feel like Disney was in a place that was Disney adjacent.
It wasn't, it wasn't the best of times.
Yeah. I mean, we had the Chicken Little, the Wild, Meet the Robinsons,
I really like Meet the
Robots.
Never. No. That's DreamWorks, buddy. Don't drag that in there.
I mean, the best thing they had going for them was Pixar, which I did. I was still going to watch Pixar films, but then I saw this and I was like, it just feels like they're trying to be edgy again, but they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Yeah. And unlike with a Goofy movie where it was a little bit edgy-ish. Yeah. It's edgy adjacent, right? Yeah. But the tone worked for Goofy movie. Yeah. This, just from the trailers and stuff, I was like, it just looks like they're trying to be in on the joke and be sarcastic, and it's just not doing it for me. So I avoided this movie for years until Maggie finally wore me down enough, and we watched it, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah,
I was shocked. Amazing. Again, I should know better.
And then, while watching it with you, we realized that Adina Menzel.
It's fucking Adina Menzel, man.
She's in it.
Adele Nazim herself.
Yes.
All right? I can't believe she was in it. And so, I did really fall in love with this movie. So that of course that's the original movie, and then to see them come back so soon for me, for this, I think as a person new to this franchise, I think it worked very well. But again, it's only been 2 years for me between the two of them. Yeah. So Maggie, from your perspective, as somebody that did love it when it came out, for it to have been so long. So from a long-time fan's perspective, how do you feel about how they did?
I think they did it very well. It's just, it's always so strange, you watch Enchanted and you see how young everybody is. Like Patrick Dempsey, and James Marsden, which, by the way, hello, that man does not age.
He doesn't age. It's crazy. Sonic's dad.
Yeah. That is right. I always forget that.
Cyclops. And what's his name? Perry Watt's son. He plays in Superman Returns. He plays Perry Watt's son.
Oh, okay.
Johnny Watt. I don't even know what his name is. It's not Johnny Watt.
Wait, he was in Sonic, and he had another movie with another CGI character. What was it?
Oh, it was something bad, wasn't it?
Hop. Was it Hop?
Oh, fuck. Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, it's like a curse following him. Anyways.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Just let him be Cyclops.
Anyways, I liked how they handled a lot of things. Yeah. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm afraid I'm going to say too much.
Yeah. No. I think, still no spoilers, I think the additional cast that you can see in the poster here, I mean, there's not really many shown, but I think they were all great additions. They didn't feel out of place. Now, the two that's with Maya Rudolph, sometimes they felt a bit over the top. Yeah. Which, I mean, it's not the actor's fault. They were doing what they were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But they were the only part that gave me kind of made for TV movie vibes. But Jim Mays from Glee and Heroes, Charlie from Heroes, so fucking funny in this. She's from around here.
Yeah.
She's from somewhere around here. yeah. So I mean, there are so many just reaction shots of her that just
there's one shot. Me and you looked at each other like, why did they keep that for so long on her?
Good. It's so funny though. She's really good at it.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to say before we go into spoilers? Would you recommend people check it out?
If you like musicals, I'd say yes. But if you don't do it.
If they don't like Disney movies.
Say don't do it.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very much Disney.
It's playing off Disney tropes.
Yes.
It's almost like a Ready Player One for Disney, almost. But not as on the nose as Ready Player One. I think if you're not into the whole Disney thing, this isn't going to change your mind.
Especially the princesses side of stuff.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
And if you didn't like the first one, I don't think this is going to redeem it for you either.
No.
So, but if none of that is an issue, I think you'll like it.
Yeah.
I definitely do. I mean, we really liked it. I said I love Spirited, but I really liked this movie, if that makes sense. So,
yes.
All right. Moving on to spoilers, everybody. Spoilers. I can't believe Chip was dead the whole time. Pip, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't fucking know. Chip's the Green Lantern squirrel. Yeah, it was great. All right, bye everybody. No, I really loved it.
Yeah.
I will say the tree of memories.
Yes.
Made me bawl my eyes out for some reason. I don't know.
Trees.
I was not expecting
the
that.
song Love Power.
Yeah, Love Power. Yeah. Oh my god.
Dina Menzel just there belting it out, man.
How can you not cry when Dina Menzel sings? You know, like, come on.
Yeah.
And like, I love that they really lucked up with her. You know, like, because she didn't sing in the first one, did she?
I don't think so.
In the soundtrack or something.
No,
but like not in the movie.
I don't think so.
So I mean, like, you know, I mean, obviously she'd been on Broadway and stuff. And I mean, she was known before Frozen, obviously. But I mean, to be able to use her to this capacity, like, I feel like she should have been bigger on the poster. Honestly, now I'm looking at the poster.
Yeah.
Like, she should have been a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
She did get the cast call out with Idina Menzel.
Yeah.
Like, that was how she was cast in it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she probably got some good money off of it.
Well, and James Marsden said, and
James Marsden.
I was like, he got some money.
Get that money, man. He deserves it.
But the wishing wand.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting. But and also I felt bad for Morgan because like she's seeing you know, Nancy, which is Idina Menzel's character, and Edward, which is James Marsden, give the little baby the wand and saying this is a true daughter of Andalasia could have it. And you know, I was like, poor Morgan, you know, all she wanted when in the first movie was a mom.
Yeah. And
she loved the fact that, you know, God, I can't think of her name now.
Giselle.
That Giselle was a princess and that she didn't doubt it.
Yeah.
And she does get her as a mom.
Yeah.
And
sweet.
Yes.
It's very sweet.
And I mean, and she's a teenager now.
Yeah.
They're dealing with all the teenager stuff, and
wait.
poor Giselle just doesn't understand why her stuff doesn't work anymore. My songs don't work. Anything I do doesn't work.
I feel like it's a very good mom movie.
It is.
You know,
it is.
And
it made
especially,
me sad.
like seeing the baby just reminded me of Viv so much. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. Like, it was super sad, but I mean, they definitely pulled it together in the end. I mean, because that moment when she's like, "You are my daughter," and then she's able to use the magic because she really is her daughter, regardless of if she gave birth to her.
Yeah,
like I feel like that's a fantastic message in this movie. Like that third act is just wonderful. Yeah. And especially, I was a little worried. Like Amy Adams' character is so bubbly at first, and I don't know if she like pushed it to the extreme so that it would feel more off when she's bad. You know, like the juxtaposition of it. Because it was for me, as tiptoeing on annoying. Okay, like it was really fucking close. It didn't get there. It never got there, but she was getting a little on my nerves.
Yeah, I could tell. I was like, Matt's not liking this. I can tell she's getting on his nerves.
Too wide-eyed, and you know, like she's been in New York for 15 years or however long it's been.
But
like,
that's her spirit, though, man.
I know, but like, Jesus, fuck, come on, you know?
But whenever she makes that wish.
Yeah.
Because she wants
and I believed
Morgan.
her.
Yeah.
I believed her in that. Like, when she actually stopped being, and I get it now, looking back at it, like, she was putting on a face for Morgan to show, like, everything can be happy. She's putting on being this bubbly character, and that's probably why it fell off, because it's not truly how she's feeling in the moment. And so when she wishes, we actually see the real her.
Yeah.
And I mean, that feels like the most clear we've seen her in the entire 2 movies, you know? And so like when she makes the wish and stuff, and the music, the number between her and Maya Rudolph.
Yes, that was great.
Probably one of the best villain songs in a Disney movie. And they always have the fun ones.
Yes,
you know?
yeah, they do.
And I mean,
everybody remembers the villain songs.
Dude, this one kicked ass.
Yes, it did.
God. You talk a little bit because you love Disney.
Yeah.
Princess
I liked all the little, not necessarily Easter eggs, but like little callbacks to all the Disney princess movies and stuff.
The rose and the
But what I was saying, back to the wishing one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Before she realizes like what's going on, like the clock going off then, but when she does it, when she realizes what's happening, I was so happy about that. I was so worried that they was just going to play it off. Oh, she doesn't know what's happening to herself. She doesn't know she's becoming a wicked stepmother or anything. No, she does at the beginning. She realizes it and she's like, no, I don't talk like this. This is awful, you know?
Yeah.
And then when it does kick into high gear, then Pip becomes a cat.
Which was awesome.
I loved it because he still was fast like a chipmunk. Because the 2 sidekicks, Maya Rudolph's, they're like, oh my God, he's fast. How's he so fast? You know, big old fat cat.
I think I like him more as a cat.
I know, that's what I said. He's so cute as a fat cat. And I just love when, I guess she leaves the house and it shows him laying on the countertop and he says, I don't know why, but I have a sudden urge to lick this. He starts licking his foot. But I really did like the fact that, like, before she pushes Morgan into the well to Andalasia, that, you know, she kind of has that, like, Gollum moment, you know? Yeah. And she's like, no, we must it. And Morgan's like, what is wrong with you? But, like, how she could just turn it on.
Yes.
And then turn it off.
Amy Adams is a fantastic actress.
Yes, she is.
I mean, she was in Smallville, for God's sakes.
I forgot about that. Somebody put up a post on Instagram and it showed her from some movie from like the early 2000s, like before Enchanted. And they said if they had made a Barbie movie back then, she would have been perfect. She would have been perfect. Yeah. But I really liked the costumes and everything. I mean, the little girl in me was kind of, you know, going, you know, this is so cool, and all those shoutbacks.
Outfit was really good.
Yeah,
like it wasn't too over the top like everybody else's, which I know that was the point.
That was the point. Yeah, because she wasn't like that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's great. And then that ending, I mean, the whole third act.
Oh, I know.
But I mean, the final shots of them, like as a family at the picnic, and what's his name comes back and he's fighting with the kids.
And they're like, we killed you. He said, no, it was a graze. It was a graze.
Now, let me ask you this. I've seen some people on Twitter were a little bit complaining about the lack of use of Patrick Dempsey's character. Did you feel that way at all? Or
I was kind of shocked about it.
Yeah, because it just kind of let him on his own little adventure and then bring him back in the third act.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, I mean, I feel like if he had been there, it would have...
Yeah, but like, the whole point of this was stepmom.
Yes.
Stepdaughter.
Yes.
And trying to figure out a teenager, you know, and Giselle doesn't understand that.
And I feel like if he would have seen Giselle bad, he would have known something was up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even in the spell, like, I feel like even as himself in the spell, he still would have known she's not like that.
Yeah. Well, even like the carriage going to the festival, he even like looked at her like, you know, what minions? What do you want minions for? Yeah. And he's like, well, I'm going to go find Morgan. It's not like her to not be here. but which we knew she was in the wishing well, to help figure out what's going on.
And it was nice to go back to the animated series.
Yes, that made me so happy. I love that. That was like one of my favorite things about Enchanted, how it just started as an animated movie.
Because it's supposed to be like a Disney princess movie.
Yes.
Like, I mean, it truly is in that continuity.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way that they were drawn. There's just something about it. Just felt like I said when we was watching it, I said it felt like Archer.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it's not that Flash animation style, but
I think they went a little bit too heavy on the outlines.
Yeah.
With the black.
It just felt like it was a little, I don't know the word, but maybe loose.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of felt like that recent Scooby-Doo movie we watched.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't know, it just didn't feel the same. I don't know how to explain. I don't know animation enough to be able to say it. But I'm glad it wasn't CG or anything, obviously. But like, if you put that next to like Princess Frog, like, I just feel like, you know, that one looks a lot better.
Yeah, I feel like they tried.
Princess and the Frog looks a lot better, just so we're clear.
Yeah, it does. I feel like the animation style changed.
Yeah, possibly.
I say it probably could have.
I mean, they probably didn't put as much
money into it. But what I liked about whenever Morgan's and Andalasia and looking at the tree and seeing all those memories, and they're all animated, and I thought that was so sweet.
And then we see the same memories in the real world. And it's the real actors doing the same. Dude, oh my God, I'm just bawling my eyes out the whole time, you know?
I know.
And what's up with both of these movies? No spoilers for Spirited, but like having these like freeze frame effects going on, and like them moving through, you know, like in Spirited it was snow, and in this it was like the memories. Yeah. But it's like time has stopped. You know? I love it. I love that effect.
It too. Yeah.
It's just such a wild thing that both of them did that. No, I thought it was really good. Honestly, I did too. I really enjoyed it. Shocked that they pulled it off, and that they pulled it off so well. Yes. And one thing we noticed, and this probably means nothing, but you know, at the end of the book, when he closes the book, it's only in the halfway point. So does that mean there could be a third?
No.
I mean, think about it. It's called Enchanted. You put a 3 as the E. There it is. It's done. And it could be about the new little girl,
Sophia.
Yeah. Or here's what you do. You do Enchanted 3. Okay. None of this stuff that's happened. All right. Like, none of these, like, fairy tale spells and shit. It'll be more like the first Enchanted, where it's just in the real world, right? And it's just the plot of Father of the Bride. It's just that. But then you got what's his name?
Edward.
Yeah. Trying to bring in all the fairy tale stuff into it. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like, it's just the Father of the Bride, but it's Enchanted 3. Come on, I mean, I'd watch the shit out of that. Are you kidding me? And then Tim Allen comes in and he's like, I gotta get married.
Oh God. Yeah, speaking we haven't even started that yet. God, I'm dreading it.
I can't believe how bad we're dreading the Santa Claus. Is like, we really like the Santa Claus. I'm just shocked that we're really, really not wanting to watch it.
I'm worried.
I think it's because we don't like Tim Allen. I think that's the biggest flaw here.
That's what it is.
Anything else you want to say before we jump out of spoilers? All right. Spoilers are over. Ladies and gentlemen, we have completed our reviews of both Spirited and Disenchanted. So now we are going to move into our ranking for the winter of 2022. So did you want to change the background?
Are we starting with Spirited?
No, we're just going to leave it on. I mean, remember we was going to put it on the next one.
Well, I thought.
While we talk about it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. You run it.
Yeah.
You run it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
It's mine. It's
my
baby.
I know Maggie's taking on the background. I'm a control freak that is having trouble letting go. It's okay. I like it. Okay, so the current ranking for winter 2022 goes as follows. At number 1, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
End of list.
End of list. That's it.
So we've got 2 to add today. So we'll start with Spirited. I think this is going to be one of the easier
Number
rankings.
1.
Yeah, it's number 1. I'm sorry.
It's number 1, y'all.
I'm sorry, Wakanda Forever. I love you. I love you. And it sucks that you're going to be number 3 at the end of this. All right, so in agreement, Spirit is number one. Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, current ranking is number one, Spirited. Number two, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Disenchanted. Number 2.
I 100% agree. I'm sorry. Like it is though. It is. It was great.
It is.
Nothing against Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Like it had its moments.
We are musical people, okay?
Yeah, but I'm also we're also Marvel people.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
it's just you can go listen to our review of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. We do a spoiler-free version. We just had some issues.
Yeah,
it was great. Like some of the stuff that they did was moving and powerful, and then there was also 140 minutes of other stuff that they did.
Yep.
So your new ranking for winter 2022.
Number 1, Spirited. Number 2, Disenchanted. Number 3, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
All right. What will be the review next week? Sorry.
It's okay. That'll bother
sometimes
me.
I just top and it just does something. Next week, I'm not really sure what we're going to do. Wait, does Guardians special come out?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And it has been said that James Gunn said that it is very emotional.
Oh, shit. Well, see, that's where Marvel's going to take back the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, maybe not. I'm not going to call it right now. But, I mean, I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, he does.
The first one is probably my favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Like, personal favorite Marvel movie. Just the stuff with his mom and the Awesome Mix Volume 2, I think is just the fucking best payoff of any movie I think I've ever seen. Like, the emotional hit of that being the tape, the present that he hasn't opened. It's perfect. It's perfect. Probably my favorite scene in all of Marvel.
Yeah.
Except for the portal scene.
Yeah.
And Cap with the hammer.
Yeah.
And probably Spider-Man showing up. I'll be on there.
You better stop.
And WandaVision was pretty cool. All right. So next week we will definitely be doing the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Yeah.
And we may, if we get to it, we may also talk Andor.
Okay.
We'd have to get. We stopped around 3 because I really just wanted to marathon the whole thing because I was having trouble just keeping up with it week by week. So if we marathon Andor this week, we'll talk about that next week as well. But until then, thanks for watching, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. Remember, you can head over to patreon.com/hopefullyawesome where you can get this show ad-free. And you can also get our exclusive other shows we do, like the Hopefully Awesome Weekly. We also have Going Back to Smallville ad-free. We got Family Game Night, which is a lot of fun. We just played a Goofy movie board game, which was really cool. And yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Movie commentaries each month as well. But if you have no bucks to toss our way, that's totally fine. We completely understand. But you can still help us out by liking this video or this podcast, sharing it around with people. We also have smaller clips that'll post throughout the week. If you'd rather just share the individual reviews, totally fine. Hit that subscribe button, whether you are on YouTube or podcasts. Follow us on all the things. If Twitter's still around, you can follow us there. And if everybody has migrated to Hive, if you follow us there too. I'm going to replace the bumper that says Twitter. I'm just going to put a B over top of it. I'm not going to do that. It's too much work. But yeah, leave us a review on podcast. Actually would really be beneficial to help get this show a little bit more viewers or listeners. Going Back to Smallville is actually doing really good, but this show seems to get lost in the fray a little bit. So if you want to leave a 5-star rating, it would greatly help us much. We would appreciate it. But that's it. We hope you all enjoyed this episode this week. We'll see you again next week for some hopefully fun stuff. Hopefully it'll be awesome. But until next time, as always,
have a hopefully awesome day.
Bye.
I questioned the name.
That's great. I love it. Have a hopefully awesome day.